If you are stuck and you're finding like you're stuck in this window and you can't grow, you need to do something different. Don't sit by the sidelines and just wait for your business to get better someday, because it's not.
Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff, so I could scale up and out of the business that I can have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that.
All right. Holy shit. I've been gone off for like damn near a month. April has been just nuts. I had trip after trip after trip, and some of them were masterminds and events, webinars. And I also got to take my mom to Washington, D.C., something she's wanted to do, talked about for 2 decades. And you know what? This is one of the cool things that like why becoming successful as a gym owner is so important, is because we all want to like do things for our family and loved ones. But if you don't have the money to do it and you don't have the time to make it happen, it just doesn't happen. My dad is never going to take her to DC. You know, she's 70. It's not like we have many more opportunities. And it's just like, it was just a 70th birthday present for me. I'm like, we're going to DC. My dad's like, how much is it? And like, how can I'm like, dude, it's on me. I got it. Don't worry.
That is so cool, man. Congrats on being able to do that. You know, that kind of makes me think like my wife and I are trying to convince. Last year, we usually go to Italy at least once a year. We love Italy. My mother, we desperately want to take my mother to Italy. I think you know, at that age, it's not even about the money. It's just convincing them to travel overseas. You're like, what's your holdup? You've waited your whole life to go overseas. Go.
Well, it's the same thing, right? Gym owners, you know, your clients who need to lose 30 pounds are like, why aren't you doing it? As business owners, I'm like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about on today's Fix Your Gym in 15 minutes too, guys. Robert, I don't know if you know Robert's story. What he's done is incredible, but he's going to teach you today in 15 minutes how to turn dead leads into thousands of dollars. We all have those dead leads, those emails and phone numbers that we have sitting there that we don't know what the hell to do with. And we don't want to do anything because nothing ever works. So he's going to teach you exactly what to do. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing as gym owners, you know, that when I'm helping them out, it's like, you need to do this, right? Just do it. We all have these things. My parents have it. I'd like to go to Washington, D.C. sometime. 20 years later, doesn't happen. So our job, like we're entrepreneurs, take action. You know, something needs to be done. It might roll up your fucking sleeves and let's go to work.
Well, I think that's important. You know, as a gym owner, you have to understand that there's nobody to pass the buck to. You're the guy or the girl or the person. You are the person. It all starts and ends with you. So if you're not doing it, nobody's doing it.
That's it.
Got to take ownership. But I think the first and most important thing that we have to do is we have to set mindset. I think the mindset is the most important thing. When I first started in this industry, so just a really quick background, right? You know this, but in my 20s, I became a giant fat guy. Smoked, drank, 100 pounds overweight. I needed to lose weight. I quit smoking, joined a gym that gave me a trainer. The rest is history. I lost the weight and here I am today, right? Here's my Jared moment. Here's my pants, right? Man, I used to be a 42-inch waist, actually. Just
crazy
to think about, right? But my very first job, when I realized that I wanted to do this for a living, I went just like most other people. Let me go to the Globo gym, right? I started at 24 Hour Fitness as the lowest entry position possible, a membership.
Hang on, folks. We got to make sure we haven't disconnected here. Robert's frozen on my end. Hopefully you guys can see him. We may have lost him. So we'll hang in there and I'll fill you in some of Robert's background. Hopefully you can get out and then come back in. So essentially, yeah, Robert got into this business, right? And he did personal training. When he started his gym, then he went to like a group model. And for 5 years, he was kind of hovering around $10,000, $12,000. And after he did that, well, wait, yeah, he got kicked out. We'll wait for him to come back in. After he did that, he learned then how to, he's like, hey, I'm not having much of an impact. I want to grow my business. So he learned how to bring nutrition coaching into his brick and mortar facility. And he started doing better. He was one of the rare people who actually kind of built some nutrition in there. Right. And so he got his business to around like 17,000 a month, 15, 17,000. The problem was at the end of the day, here he comes back in. The problem is that he's still working with a lot of people. He just wasn't making that much money. And he didn't have a lot of freedom, especially financially. He didn't have a lot of freedom with his time.
I do these all the time, and that's never happened to me. That was a computer crash right in the middle. Okay, so sorry guys, I'm back.
Right. So let me I'll bridge the gap because I'm like, all right, I'm going solo. So I just told them kind of like your journey. In January, you started putting in nutrition coaching, and then 15, 17K. And then you started working with us and learning how to bolt on high ticket. And in your first month, you literally went, well, you sold one accidentally. So you would have ended at like 18K in January for the month end.
Correct.
You went to $59.7 thousand in October in one freaking month.
Yeah. Haven't looked back since.
Yeah. You read my book. You're like, holy shit, I need to take action. We hopped on a call. You started. Bam. Your entire life changed when you took action on it.
Correct. Yes. And I was able to go on a vacation. I was able to enjoy not being chained to my business, to actually really, truly profiting from my business. I think that, we talk to gym owners all the time, right? And we put on these blinders, right? I owned my gym for 5 years. We put on these blinders. Oh, my numbers increase. We're making more gross revenue. Oh, we're doing great. But I'm not taking home any money. I'm foregoing a paycheck, because as your gym grows, your bottom line grows, and that little piece of pie for the owner, it never changes. No. So you think you're doing good, but you have these blinders on. You're like, man, I'm doing great. No, you're not. You're not making any money. And I talk to gym owners face to face all the time, and they tell me, Robert, oh, we're doing so great. And I look at them just like I do with my clients who come in. I say, are you really doing great? When was the last time you took a vacation? How much are you pulling from your business? Are you taking a paycheck? I can't tell you how many gym owners I know, including myself back in the day, who didn't take a paycheck.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody goes into business to say, listen, we do this because we want to change lives. Right. But if we have to change our own life in the process as well. Right. You have to fill your cup up, because we spend so much of our energy as gym owners filling cups of other people. The people that come into us, they're empty, they're broken. They have tried so many different things. And it's up to us to have water in our glass to fill their glass up and give them something to drink. But if our cup is empty, what are we going to fill their cups up with? Right. So you gotta put yourself in a position where you are winning as a gym owner as well. Right. Everybody's got to win. The clients got to win. The people who work for you got to win. You got to win too. I think that was something that was really important for me to learn, because I can't tell you how long of running a business my clients won. The people who work for me won. I wasn't.
You didn't win.
I didn't win. I wasn't getting a paycheck.
And you can only do that for so long, and you'll get worse, and everything will be worse off for it. For sure. And yeah, you can't do cool things for your family, right? I mean, the reality is I want to be able to do that for my mom, who sacrificed so much raising me. I want to be able to take my kids to have experiences. We're going to go to, we got an awesome Airbnb in Carlsbad at the end of this month to celebrate the birthdays. We're going to do Legoland. That would have freaked me out years ago. I'm like, we can't afford it, and I can't leave the gym for that long. And
I can't leave the gym. That was the most important part, right? I can't leave the gym.
I can't leave the gym. And even if you do, you're just worrying quite often.
Yes. So worried.
You just can't get away from that anxiety. But anyways, you implemented our system, freaking killed it. And now you're giving back and like helping teach other gym owners and motivating them as well, which is awesome. So it's awesome to see you in the PT Legends community just contributing so much and inspiring so many other gym owners. And so one thing is, like, people don't realize, listen, all those dead leads that you do nothing with, or maybe they're on an email list or whatever, they're actually big assets. And if you're advertising on Facebook, you feel the pain. It's like, shit, I get like 1 out of 10 in to see me, 2 out of 10, maybe 3 out of 10, right? And the rest just unresponsive, or they responded, then they back, or they no-showed. And we just let them sit there and die. And
Okay.
Robert is really good at engaging those people. So Robert, can you share how you
Yes.
kind of turn these dead leads and turn them into not even thousands, but tens of thousands of dollars?
Absolutely. And think about it this way. And that was a really good segue too, especially if you are paying for leads, if you're paying for marketing in any way, shape, or form, whether you have a marketing agency, whether you do it yourself and boost posts, right? That marketing, we all do it at many different levels, referrals, word of mouth, this, that, and the other thing, but you're paying in some way, shape, or form, you're paying for your marketing. So you paid for those leads to be in your system. If I handed you money, if I gave you something and you didn't use it, that's a waste of money, right? So going back to that mindset shift and where I was kind of going with that story before I was interrupted is my very first job was low-level membership counselor to 24-hour fitness. And you know what they do? They hand you a list of leads and they say, here, go sit in the corner, and you call those people, get them to come in for an appointment, right? The people who were great at that job, they excelled, they did what they needed to do, and they moved on. The people who weren't, they sat and they didn't do anything. But somebody said something extremely profound to me at that point, and that is what helped me kind of become good at getting on the phone and talking to people. And they said this one thing to me, and I'm going to say this to everybody who's listening and watching right now. It's mindset. Think about what your average close is on when you get a new client, right? For me, right now, it's in that $400 to $500 range, right? Your average client's about $400 or $500. Okay. So if I were to tell you that if it took 20 phone calls to get one appointment, and that one appointment will get you $500, that's just initially. I'm not talking about monthly recurring, but that one appointment is $500, right? So if it took you 20 phone calls to make that comes out to about $25 a call. So think about it like this, Scott. If I told you, here's a list of clients, or here's a list of leads, and I want you to call this list, and every phone call you make, regardless of the outcome, I'm going to pay you $25. How many phone calls are you going to make?
Let's dial, baby. Give me the
You're
book.
going to make phone calls all day, right?
And to interject too, let's say you're using our systems.
Mm-hmm.
So your average sale, let's say, is $2,000.
Sure.
Right? Like more like yours, right?
Sure.
2,000. It takes you 20 phone calls to get one.
Mm-hmm. Let's do that math. What is that math?
Let's do that math.
Let's do that math. But let's see. We got 2,000. Divide that by 20 phone calls. Scott, that's $100 a phone call.
$100 a phone call.
$100 a phone call.
We don't think of it like that, though.
No, and that's the problem, right? It's all about a mindset shift. This is the same thing we do with our clients when they come in, right? We try to shift their mindset and try to get them to think about it in the right context. So the same goes here. I want to say one more thing before we get into it. These are perfect strangers. They don't know you. They don't know your business. What's the worst that could happen? You ready? I'm going to tell you the worst that could happen. You ready, Scott? Here it is. No, I'm not interested.
Oh my God.
I'm still
That's
here.
gonna set me back.
I'm still here. I didn't get hurt. I'm not physically hurt. I'm not mentally hurt. I'm okay. A perfect stranger I've never met before, never seen, don't know from anybody in the world, just told me on the other end of the phone, no, I'm not interested, and hung up on me. Oh. That, by the way, is people's biggest fear in making phone calls. Oh my God, what if they hang up on me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what? But what if they don't hang up on you? That's what we're going to talk about right now. So they don't hang up on you. This is what I do. So number one is you've got to schedule this time in your day. Schedule this time in your day and do it 2 to 3 times a week. For me right now, I do it twice a week. I schedule 2 30-minute blocks on my calendar every week in different times, by the way, because it's, try to get people on the phone, right? Best time is like 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning before people start work, or, in that 5 to 6 in the afternoon when people are done with work. Usually the best time to get people on the phone. So I'll do one morning block and I'll do one afternoon, evening block a week. Okay. 30 minutes. I sit down. Here's what I do. I pull up my leads and I start with the freshest ones first, obviously, because they're the ones who are most likely to pick up. You've got their information. They're new. They're hot in your system, right? Pick it up. Boom. Grab it. And I start dialing. And I just start dialing. And I start dialing until I get somebody on the phone. And then when I get them on the phone, I go into essentially what we do at PT Legends, a discovery call, where we're asking questions about them that have nothing to do with workouts, has nothing to do with anything other than trying to have a conversation with them about what's been going on with their health and fitness, how long it's been going on for, where they would like to be in the future compared to where they are now, and then seeing if I can get them to come in for an appointment so we could talk more about it, right? Other thing, got to be really good with your questions, and you got to be ready to ask another question before that person is done answering the question you just asked them. You know why, right, Scott?
I do.
What happens if I take a pause and then I give them leeway to ask a question? What are they going to ask me?
They're just going to ask you how much it is.
That's it. So you got to be ready. And I tell everybody that does discovery calls, that does this, be ready. If you need a cheat sheet, put some things on a paper, have your stuff ready to go. Practice this with your friends, practice it with your clients, your coworkers, your spouse, right? Practice these and be ready to go. Because when that person picks up, it's go time. All right. You ready? We're going to do one.
Let's do it.
Scott, you're going to be the person. I'm going to be me. Here we go. And action. Scott, answer the phone.
Hello?
Hey, Scott, what's going on? This is Robert from All Fit Orlando. It's so great to talk to you today. I appreciate you taking a few minutes. I know that you're busy, and so am I. I saw that you opted into some of our advertising a couple of days ago, and I just wanted to connect with you to kind of just have a really quick conversation to see what's been going on with you. So, Scott, when it comes to your health and fitness, what has been going on with you? What have you been struggling with the most? Has it been the workouts, nutrition, accountability, maybe all of the above? Tell me what's been going on with you, man.
Yeah, it's good you called. I've been really busy lately, and yeah, I mean that's kind of part of it. Like I just haven't really done a lot over the last year or so. Work has been hectic, and I just kind of let things slide, and it's I feel like it's time.
Sure. Absolutely, man. I hear you. So I hear that this has been like the last year it's been a long, like at least a year since you've kind of been into a fitness program. What were you doing before you kind of took that hiatus? What were you doing then?
Well, I guess I wasn't that great before that either. I have a, open gym membership, down the street and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I maybe go like maybe once or twice a month, maybe.
Mhm.
And then, I guess that was more consistent. It's better than nothing. Right.
Sure.
But I guess it's been like a bit since I've really focused on it.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you've been super busy with work and you've been putting all the things ahead of yourself for a little bit now, right? Let me ask you another question. So if we were to kind of start putting you first again and getting you kind of dialed in on your health and fitness, and we did this consistently over the next 3 to 6 months, where do you see yourself down that road 3 to 6 months from now compared to where you are right now?
Probably a heck of a lot more energy. Like I kind of wake up a little bit drained, and I just, there's so much to get to. So I feel like I'd have a lot more energy, and I just feel better overall.
Yeah.
I think it would, that's what I really want. It's just, I haven't made it a big priority.
Sure. Absolutely. Listen, Scott, there is something to be said about, working out consistently, eating good consistently, and finding a lot more energy when your body is just feeling better. Right. Last question, man. This sounds amazing. And I'm going to tell you right now that you are a great fit for our program. Is this something that you're ready to get started with right now?
Hey, just a quick reminder to everybody, if you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 more this month, every month, by making more money with less clients with transformational programs, and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn more about what it's like to work with me and my team at PT Legends and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. It is such a no-brainer that it more than pays for itself when we teach you how to enroll just two case study clients. Really, that's it. So go to CoachScottCarpenter.com and learn more about it.
Yeah, I think so. It's like I put in the thing, work got a little in the way for the last 2-3 days. But yeah, it's something I'm ready to do now.
That's it. And that's my call. And then right from there, it's great. Let's get you in the next one. And here's the big one. You need to book that appointment. If it's in the morning, see if you can get them to come in that night or the very next day. You want to be 24, 48 hours out tops, because now they went from a cold lead to a hot lead, right? And then there's one other thing, and I love this from your book. There is one other thing that I add. And as soon as I'm done booking that appointment, all right, Scott, I've got you in for tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Listen, I want you to do me a quick favor. Before you come in tomorrow morning, you can do it anytime, but I want you to take 5 minutes to yourself tonight. I want you to sit down and I want you to think of 2 to 3 goals for yourself in the next 3 to 6 months and 2 to 3 reasons why you want those goals. And only one can be a scale goal. All right. Text those to me before you come in tomorrow and I'll see you at 8 o'clock. All right, buddy. Talk to you later. And then I'm off the phone. I'm in and out in 5 minutes.
Oh, see how clean that is?
Yep.
You don't give them room because everybody, guys, if somebody calls in your gym and you answer the phone, they're just going to ask you you just want to know, like, what are your prices? And then maybe like, and what time are your classes or whatever you have, right? That's it. They don't know. They have no idea how to solve their problem. That's what you as the expert and the authority, that's your job. Don't let them just ask you the price and ask you about your services. Is it like group? Is it like this? Is like, they don't need to know any of that stuff. You got to control, like Robert had control of this son of a bitch.
That's it.
And I feel comfortable on the other end of the line that I'm like, oh man, I'm with somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yep.
Right. And he's not talking about group. He's not talking about the types of workouts. He's not talking about what is one-on-one. He's not talking about time. He's not talking about any of that shit. Right.
None of it. I'm not talking about any of it.
Because none of your people want to work out. Newsflash, guys. Nobody wants to work out. They're all just trying to solve a bigger problem.
Right.
They're busy. They've gained weight. They feel like shit. They are self-conscious. They're uncomfortable in their own skin. You name it. That's what 90+% of people are coming in with. So the whole art of this is like, stop selling workouts. Stop just talking about your work. Everybody has workouts. F45 has workouts. Orange Theory. Barry's Boot Camp has workouts. LA Fitness offers free workouts, 6 times a day. This is where you differentiate yourself.
I think I saw Planet Fitness right now. I think you can join for $1 down, $9.99 a month. Planet Fitness. $1 down, $9.99 a month. You know what none of those gyms have? They don't have a human being who is going to sit down with you, create a plan, and then make sure that you're executing that plan. And that's the difference between all of those gyms and what we do here. When I talk to people in their mind think that they're comparing apples to apples when they talk about comparing an F45 or a Barry's Boot Camp or an Orange Theory to what I'm doing at All Fit Orlando. But it's not. They're comparing apples to oranges. And it's my job to make sure from the second they meet me, their first interaction with me, whether it's on the phone or whether it's in person, that this is not what they thought it was going to be at all. And that has nothing to do with my workouts. It has nothing to do with my community. It has nothing to do with anything other than me having a conversation with you, man to man, man to woman, to really dig down into what's been going on with you and show you that this is going to be different this time, because I'm going to make sure that you can't fail, because I'm going to put you in a system that's going to give you everything that you need to be successful from the very beginning and ensure that you get from point A to point B without jumping off the cliff. That's it. That's your solution.
Beautiful. So that is also, guys. So Robert, what were you previously selling before you started working with us? And we kind of taught you that framework. What were you previously? What was it like? You had group as your main thing, right?
Yeah. Yes. Group was our main thing. Personal training was kind of like a side hustle. It was kind of like our side piece. And it was mostly run by the trainers who were selling personal training independently and then paying the gym rent, which, by the way, don't do that. It sucks. Don't do it.
And what was the price points you were selling at before?
Yeah. So my group fitness was $119 a month unlimited. Again, personal training was just a side piece. We had started nutrition coaching. We were selling that at $399 and $499 a month just for like the nutrition coaching and accountability and stuff. But we really didn't start putting all the pieces together until I read Scott's book. And then I was like, the thing about that book, and we talk about this all the time, right? I said, like, I felt like I was asleep in the Matrix. And when I read that book, I never thought that I would read something where I thought that the guy who wrote that book was literally talking to me directly, because everything you said in the book was like, I knew this. I know that. Hey, that's me. Hey, I can do that. Why am I not doing that? I already have these systems in place. All I have to do is just put it together and execute, and then charge what we're worth for that. And it was like,
takes you from under 20K to 60K in a freaking month.
And we haven't looked back. And not only are our clients more successful, right? Because we have people starting out in our program that are now getting more accountability and support. Our trainers are making more money than they've ever made in their entire lives. My payroll right now is actually as much as I used to make in gross revenue every month. That's my monthly payroll.
Beautiful.
It's crazy to think, right? And then, so my gyms, my athletes are getting better results. My coaches and trainers are making more money than they've ever made before. And I'm happier, and my gym is making more money than ever before, which means I'm getting a paycheck. We're able to do things around our gym, like improve the equipment and do some other things that really don't make a difference, but they're nice. And people see that and they're like, wow, oh, knew this, knew that. This is so nice. All of that is thanks to PT Legends and changing the way that we did business. Instead of selling workouts, started selling solutions. And that's how we were able to differentiate ourselves from anybody else in our area. And I say this to people all the time. I would open up my gym across the street next door to an F45, to an Orange Theory. I talk to gym owners all the time. And they're like, oh, but Robert, there's an Orange Theory over here. There's an F45. Oh, dude, I live in Orlando. I can step out of my gym, throw a rock, and hit 5 F45s. I'm not kidding you. 5 F45s, 2 Eat the Frogs, 3 Orange Theories, plus,
it's
7,
it's just like where mine are at.
Right?
Doesn't like we could throw a rock and hit 6 of those.
Correct. But here's the difference, right? You could go there and get workouts, or you could come with me and you can get results. That's it. That's how I differentiate myself from everybody else. You want to just go do workouts, keep checking a box every day.
I love having these places nearby because eventually they're going to get frustrated and move on. You know how many like ex Orange Theory people or whatever come to our place? We get so many
here.
from that.
And F45. I get more F45ers nowadays. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, and I'm not saying this out of cheer, right? Because I always feel for other gym owners, but we had a guy come in, he bought 2 Eat the Frog franchises in Orlando. He put one downtown, put one in South Downtown. They both shuttered last month. We picked up some of their members, like, hey, great to have them, but I feel bad. Unfortunately, that model, right, of just selling workouts, it's just not enough, guys. And if you're just selling workouts, you gotta be able to do the volume of places like Orange Theories and F45s. You got to be able to do 1,000 memberships. And
I recently
go up.
Talked with an OTF manager. Guess what their quota is for calls?
How many calls they have to make a day? A month. I want to say it's 1,000.
Ooh, you would be close if you multiplied it by 5. 5,000. So like if it's been around since 2016, you're calling because there's always so many people in the database, right? That is work. But if you only have offers that are, 120 to 180 bucks a month, like that's the game you're playing, man. Like it's a rough
the low ticket offer game. It becomes a volume and it becomes a numbers game. And we talk about this all the time, don't we, Scott? You have to have more members. So more members equals more problems. More members, more problems.
Oh, totally.
And their funnel, right? Because we talk about the gym business as a funnel, right? You put people in the top, people are in the middle, and then the people are going to come out the bottom every month, right? But in a business model like that, a volume model, you got a big top and a big bottom, and you're just trying to fill the top as fast as the bottom falls out. Yeah. Otherwise, you're shuttering your business, right? But for us, what we're doing, what the gyms that work with PT Legends do is we're not about quantity, we're about quality and results. So when you deliver quality and results, that's right, more money, less clients.
T-shirt. If you're listening to this on the podcast, more money, less clients, and we're in a T-shirt.
More money, less clients. That's it, 100%. But it's not just that, right? It's about getting those results. And it's not about selling on the front end, but it's also about getting those renewals and keeping people going within your business. Because when you've got it down pat, when you've got enough people coming in the top, and you're returning those people at the bottom, and they're coming back up to the top every 3, 6, 12 months because they're renewing, because they're getting results, you are left with a business with less clients, but more money and more profits and less headache. Because when you only have 60, 70, 80 clients, you don't have to worry about the 100 people who are canceling or freezing or pausing. Oh, I'm going on summer vacation.
You're glad when those, the people, because a lot of times the people who pay the least, your OGs or whatever, they can be the biggest pains in the asses.
They are.
And can be. It's like a universal law. Yes. And listen, guys, if you're running group, that's fine. But like your transformational programs should be on top of that. You can still deliver in group. But when people have these bigger problems, you need a bigger solution. That's where your high ticket program. So this works whether you got group, semi, PT, anything like that. And, the main thing is if you just have your workouts only, already without me telling you, shit has changed since the pandemic. Volume is lower. Things are harder. Okay. Your costs are going way up. If you don't start making these changes, unless you're in a unicorn location that just is blessed with tons of organic leads, you could run into problems. And I see it all over the world on my calls with gym owners. So just like to bring this full circle, like take some freaking action. If this is you, if you are stuck with your revenue, more important than revenue is your profitability, and you're finding like, I'm limited with, like, I'm working a lot. I can't get myself out of these jobs. I can't get past these barriers, or you're doing decent, but it's like you're stuck in this window and you can't grow. You need to do something different. Yep. And so take action. If you're watching this inside of our Facebook group, sweet, shoot me a DM and I can send you some resources. If you're listening to this on the podcast, there are links in the show notes to either book a call with somebody in our team to see if the program that Robert went through would be a good fit for you. Or there's also a bunch of free resources we can send you with the links there too. So just take action on this. Don't sit by the sidelines and just wait for your business to get better someday. Because it's not
going to happen. It's not going to happen. You do. That's absolutely 100% spot on, Scott. You have to take, like I said in the beginning, right? It starts and stops with you as the owner. If you are not willing to step up and take action, take ownership of the resources that you have, or get the resources that you need to be successful, you're going to continue this vicious cycle, right? They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Yep. Just not going to happen. You've got to take action and do something different, and start selling and packaging on selling results. And listen, for the people that are running group models and they're like, you know what, I don't know about high ticket. I don't know about selling all these things. I feel weird about it. It feels salesy. Look, I say this to people all the time. What we do is sales, right? And in a roundabout way, right? There's a difference between us and car salesmen though, right? Car salesmen want to sell you a car because they want to make more money, right? We want to sell you a gym membership because we want to help you change your life and we want to make money, right? So there's a difference. If you went into this business because you fundamentally believe that you want to change people's lives, then great, we can have a conversation. But part of doing that is sales. And unfortunately, going back to that, you car salesman, it's instant gratification. If I need a car, I can go down to the car salesman, I can buy a car, problem solved instantly. If I am struggling with weight and body fat percentage and my health, I have to go down to your gym and I have to spend money on delayed gratification, and I have to put in hard work, and it's scary and it's nerve-wracking and people are afraid. So you have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and fight for these people. You've got to fight for them. And if selling them if you know they need nutrition and accountability and support, and they need more than just workouts, but they come to you and they're like, and they hem and they haw, get them at least in your group fitness program, get them at least in something, the lowest offer that you have, and then make a follow-up appointment with them in 4 to 6 weeks and keep doing it. As a gym owner or as a manager, it takes you nothing but 15 minutes on your calendar to step in with one of your clients and say to them, hey, it's been 4 to 6 weeks. Let's see how you've been doing. Have you been, if they bought a 12 pack of classes a month, let's see if they've made all 12 classes. If they started out, with a certain weight and body fat percentage, let's put them on the InBody and see how they've changed. The thing is that some people will succeed, and that's great. You celebrate them and then they move on. But most people, you'll have a conversation with them and they'll say, you know what, Scott, I know I was going to come 3 times a week, but I've only come 2 times. And, I missed this whole week because I just wasn't feeling it. And then I was eating good when I first started, but and then I really thought I would have lost more weight by now. But so these are all conversations that you can continue to have with people and still give them an opportunity to intervene and help them out at every step of the way. Again, these are things that Orange Theory, F45, Barry's Bootcamp, they don't do these things. So you at this level of fitness with 80, 100 or less members, you absolutely possess the ability to schedule a follow-up meeting 4 to 6 or 8 weeks down the road with somebody who joined your gym and they needed all of these interventions, but didn't take it from the beginning, right?
Yep. You can't do that with 300-400 people. And for a lot of you, growing to 300-400 people is unrealistic.
It is.
What you can do, you can make a good $150,000 to $250,000 in profit with just 80 to 100 people.
That is true.
Like, you can kill it. You can absolutely kill it. So theme is, we went way over the 15 minutes because this is I love Robert. Thank you so much for coming on. Like, we could go on for hours. Maybe we'll have a giant, maybe when you come in town in June, maybe we can just pop some whiskey and do
our whiskey sessions, huh?
Do a 3-4 hour whiskey session with me and Dave. But thank you so much. And guys, we'll keep it short. Well, we're way over, but we'll end it here. The bottom line is take action, guys. It's not going to help itself. You have to you have to help yourself. It starts and stops with you, just like Robert opened up with. So that's it, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.